Central Park for the start of the first half. The commentators are Terry Flanagan, Steve Sims, but first, Ray French.
Arguments raging between the fans as to whether Wigan should relocate to a new multi-million-pound stadium, but Central Park still the traditional home of the league champions. Warrington running out convincing 30 points to 4 winners over Widnes yesterday, while in those quarter-final ties, grandstand viewers were given a taste of Castleford's class in that 34-14 defeat of Leeds, and here at Central Park, over 23,000 fans on the edge of their seats before Wigan eased out St Helens. Central Park accustomed to housing big crowds, and another passionate one here this afternoon. Both coaches, Wigan's Graham West and Castleford's John Joyner, were a little earlier both respectful of the opposition, and John Joyner especially well aware that Wigan are the yardstick for every team.
They've been the yardstick over the last 6-7 years, about winning trophies, about winning games, and it's you know, all credit to Wigan. It's up to us to catch them up and take over that pedestal.
They've had some good form leading up to this game, and they're a very good side, very skillful, very fast and very fit. We're expecting a very tough game.
Last year's history now, well, that didn't count for a lot this season, I think. It's what happens today on the 26 players that's out there, who's prepared the best and who gives it the best effort.
You confident? Very confident. They've trained well. It's just a matter of putting it together on the park today. We know we're in for a tough game, but my team are tough as well.
Wigan aiming for a third successive final and the fifth final in 8 years, but Castleford are perhaps one of the most difficult hurdles they've faced in recent seasons. And the Yorkshiremen, well, might they be confident after that 33-2 defeat of Wigan last season, but coach John Joyner, he won't forget that defeat by Wigan in the 1990 semi-final. Wigan have the advantage in the 5 clashes to date, but somehow I don't think history will count for much in this match. It's so evenly balanced here at Central Park. Castleford coming out first. They stayed overnight here in Wigan, so they've no doubt sampled the atmosphere. Dean Sampson, one of the power men in the quarter-final, Andy Hay, and led out as usual by Lee Crooks. Ian Morrison, the opening try scorer, and the Wigan fans according them a nice round of applause. The pitch in good condition. The sheets were put on overnight to stop any frost, but they never came. And Wigan now about to take centre stage. The team, as John Joyner said, everyone in Rugby League, World Rugby League now in fact, has to beat. Power pack players, Neil Cowie, Phil Clark back to action. Sean Edwards there, with a lot of interest in his knee injury. Will he last the 80 minutes? Those Wigan youngsters are hopeful that he does. Jason Robinson. Wigan coach Graham West welcomes back, as we said, 2 of his key players. Ex-All Black Vainga Tuingamala returns to terrorise defenders after recovering from a knee injury. And following a similar complaint, skipper Sean Edwards lines up at scrum half, hoping no doubt to control the midfield. For Castleford, teenage Jason Flowers continues to deputise for Graham Steadman at full-back, and Wigan will have to keep a check on that half-back pairing of Tony Smith, selected for Great Britain Sevens this year, and Tony Kemp, the Kiwi. They've rattled up 22 tries between them this season. 2 gentlemen who have played together many times for Great Britain. Number 7, Wigan half-back maestro Sean Edwards, and Lee Crooks, one of the best ball distributors in world rugby. Referee Stuart Cummings from Widnes, 4 seasons, as a Grade 1 official. And the little mascot there in the black and yellow for Castleford. Little Gregory Eden, whose father Phil, the Castleford centre, is watching this game from hospital. And no doubt Phil Eden is hoping that this Castleford side pull off another win as they did last season. Well, Terry, you've had 2 selections so far. You've come up with 2 winners. What's your third?
Well, call me old-fashioned and crazy, Ray, but I'm going for the underdogs Castleford today. I think their team spirit, which underpins a lot of their good performances, is on top of the game, and this front row of theirs is in fine form.
Steve, Halifax coach, you have yet to play Wigan. Have they any weaknesses?
Well, maybe in the front row at this stage, Terry O'Connor and Neil Cowie, they may miss Skerritt up front, as the Castleford pairing of Crooks and Sanson are probably the form front row pairing in the competition at this stage.
Referee Stuart Cummins gets us into action. Tony Kemp with the kick. And Frano Botica immediately feeding the world's greatest wing try scorer, Martin O'Fire. Phil Clark has been troubled recently since we saw him receive that Team of the Year award with an ankle. No trouble from this man. Jason Robinson, number 2 for Wigan. Wigan using that blind side, trying to catch Castleford out. Wigan 6 times winners of this trophy. Castleford twice winners and the holders. And already started at quite a pace. Sean Edwards with a kick, just testing out the Castleford defence there. Chris Smith in particular. And youngster Jason Flowers, who had such a good game against Leeds. He was safe and assured. Ooh, and the tackling seems pretty ferocious, Steve.
It is. Andy Clark went a little bit high there on Nick Howe. He's probably lucky to get away with that.
Richie Blackmore, Kiwi. And back to Tony Kemp, yet another Kiwi, one of 3 in this Castleford side. Nick Howe, Blackmore and Tony Kemp. Jason Robinson, very powerful, short, squat-toe wingman, very elusive when he comes in midfield.
I think a lot will depend on the kicking game of Tony Kemp. He's a key player for Castleford, and we'll see how his kicks pitch up.
Dennis Betts. And Phil Clark trying to open out play with Edwards. Got Botica out wide there, but a good tackle there by Tony Kemp. The light wind here at Central Park, slightly in Wigan's favour, as Martin Hall races down that left-hand side. Sean Edwards again. Simon Middleton vainly trying to cut him off, but John Ray in possession. And a nice relieving run there from John Ray, the former Morley Union player. To Erna Nicow from Huntly in New Zealand. Kiwi loose forward. Andy Hay. His Castleford forwards like to run direct, like to run right from the first receiver. And here, Dean Sampson, powerful lad. I don't think there's any barber in Castleford has dared to cut this Sampson's hair this week. His power, his strength, well needed up front. Richard Russell. I think this lad, Richard Russell, looking for an England place, Steve.
He is. Both these hookers are good players, and he's certainly had a good couple of years since he's moved to Castleford.
Well picked up by Martin O'Fire, but that was a good chase, Terry.
Yeah, great chase from Cass. It's interesting, the game is at a frantic pace at the moment. We haven't had a stoppage yet.
The fitness of these players really is quite staggering now. Some of the schedules that the fitness conditioners put these players through, really quite awesome. And Richard, what's the atmosphere like down there?
It's good, Ray. The feeling about Sean Edwards on the Wigan bench is that he might actually see this game out. He's got a heavily strapped right knee, as you can see. That's fluid on the kneecap there, but the doctor says there's no ligament damage. And Edwards has had intensive treatment before this game, and hopefully he'll be able to last it.
Well, Sean Edwards has played many times, battling against injuries. He's a real courageous type of player. We remember him at Wembley once with a fractured cheekbone and carrying on. He took a knock there at the tackle, but it was more of the hamstring, I think. And Crooks getting the ball away, picked up well by Andy Hay.
You see after the kick here, Smith's come in, a late tackle. It wasn't too bad. He was committed to the tackle there. I don't think it hurt Sean all that much.
Kemp. Nick Howe did well to get that ball away to Crooks. Crooks weighing up the opposition, and nice sidestep there by Lee Crooks, 31 years of age, still as agile as ever. Richie Blackmore with a little rubber kick through, pushing Jason Robinson back. certainly a fast pace. Wigan top of Division 1, just one defeat, a championship defeat at Headingley against Leeds.
And just having said that the Wigan bench were confident about Shaun Edwards, they're now concerned because he seems to be holding his right hamstring. Maybe caught at full stretch at some point.
It can very often happen, Terry, that if you've got a knee injury, you can actually pull a hamstring, can't you? You tend to favour it.
Well, subconsciously, you sort of counteract the injury, and that puts other stress in other areas. And I think in that exertion, Smith would put the pressure on him, and he just probably stretched something there.
Well, here's one man who Wigan boss Graham West will be keeping a keen eye on, number 3, Trigamala. He's had a knee injury, and not often do we see Jason Robinson knock on.
You'll see here, he just nearly caught Trigamala's boot as he picked it up, but he wasn't watching the ball actually, Jason. There, I think you'll see that he was watching where he's going to run.
And Castleford then on the attack.
And Shaun Edwards has signalled to the bench that he can't continue. So he's got to be substituted early in this game. A big disappointment for Wigan. Paul Aitchison now coming onto the pitch.
And there is Paul Aitchison, number 14. Normally a full-back here, I would think, and Shaun Edwards rather forlornly having to come off. Well, matches as intense as these really do find you out, but it looks to be a different injury. It looks to be a hamstring.
Well, I'm not so sure it's a different injury. You'll see here's the mistake.
Oh, yes, and here he's going for the line. John Ray picking up on the mistake, but it's Castleford now on the attack, driving in. Richie Blackmore trying to edge his way in there, but Cass will want to move this now. Still driving at that line. Just almost 7 minutes gone. Picked up by Tuera Nichow. Can he get the ball away? He does. But that was a good tackle by Gary Connolly. He moved in very quickly, spotted Jason Flowers, snuffed out the danger, but still it's there. Lee Crooks. Crooks, ever direct, looking to slip that ball inside. Back to Russell, to Kemp. He's got Nichow with him. Nichow's got Flowers coming. Not a good pass. I don't think he saw Jason Flowers coming then. No,
tremendous pressure though from Castleford. After 3 or 4 minutes of intense pressure, we've had 3 or 4 minutes of mistakes, and Castleford must be sensing a good start here now.
I was about to say before we ripped into that action there that possibly Steve Aitchison go to full-back, Paul Aitchison to full-back, and Henry Paul possibly to half-back.
Yeah, I'd say that would be move or body at a half-back and Paul to stand-off. But getting back to Shaun Edwards, I think if he's gone into this game injured, I think it's a bad play by Wigan. Also, I find it strange that if his leg was that bad, why are they giving the kicking duties anyway?
Well, certainly kicking for touch would find any player out. Paul Aitchison, very big, powerful lad, makes the break. He's put that kick. A race between Flowers and Aitchison. Flowers the winner. And the pressure off the Yorkshireman's line.
This was a super break from Aitchison. Incomplete tackle from Castleford enabled him to pick up and go again. And the pace of Flowers just manages to scramble the ball dead.
He's very strong, Aitchison. And I think here, after he initially makes the break, he probably kicks about 1 or 2 yards too early. If he held on to the ball for another 2 strides, he may have had the pace to get past Flowers. He kicks now. He could have just held on to it for another 2 strides.
Under the new Welsh qualifications, Paul Aitchison, their number 14, opted to play for Wales in the John Smith's European Championships in a couple of weeks' time against England down there at Ninian Park in Cardiff. But it's Wigan now on the attack. Phil Clark. And a penalty. The whistle for lying on.
Yeah, Phil Clark takes a positive drive up to the line, but the defence were just holding on a fraction too long.
He ruled in that he had his hand on the ball to stop him from playing it. And in the replay, it doesn't show that in the replay. I thought it was a pretty fair tackle and should have been play on.
Nonetheless, whatever the merits of the decision by Mr. Cummins, it's a chance for Franobotica, one of the world's great goal kickers, to help himself to 2 points. And one wonders just what the loss will be to Wigan when this man departs for Down Under and joins the Auckland Warriors at the end of this season. Certainly a lot of points on the scoreboard. Former All Black. And Botica collects his usual couple of points from kicks like that. No hesitation from the ex-All Black. One of the most accurate kickers in the game, putting Wigan in the lead, 2-0. And Mr. Cummins just passing a word of advice on to Castleford to keep their hands off the ball. Kemp restarts. Castleford unbeaten in their last 9 cup and league matches. Martin Hall with a very good dummy. Another one who has opted to join Wales this season. Dennis Betts. He'll be in the England pack and skipper of the Great Britain Sevens that goes Down Under in a couple of weeks' time. Botica, good run from Botica. But that was a good tackle by Tony Kemp. Good cover tackle across. But it's Wigan putting the high ball. Phil Clark. Young Flowers is underneath it. So is Henry Paul. But that was well taken. Oh, good play by this youngster. And still the lad's going. Well, Castleford seem to bring the youngsters out of the back pocket, Terry. Yes,
they have a production line of talent, and this young man, Flowers, had a great game at Leeds last week, and he started a firm footing today. Great play there.
The intensity in Castleford's defence has dropped off a little bit. That whole set of play from Wigan, then they just stood and waited for him. They never moved forward in defence.
Lee Crooks steadying things down with Richard Russell. Crooks getting through an awful lot of work in these early stages is skipper Lee Crooks, setting the example up front. The Castleford chasers have to give Martin a fire 10 metres before he starts to run. Then as that, they can tackle him. Aitchison. Oh, Gary Connolly isolated there outside.
They're making ground too easy, Wigan. Castleford are just standing there waiting. In 3 tackles now, they've made 40, 50 yards upfield. They've got to start moving forward on Wigan and stop them.
One of Wigan's new young props, Terry O'Connor, number 8. And we can see already the Wigan's start, Terry, 67% possession.
Yeah, they're making good yards, running direct and straight from the play the ball areas, and they're attacking the Castleford centres, particularly Simon Middleton and John Ray's side on the far side there.
I think any side playing against Wigan, they've got to hold the 6 balls, haven't they? They've got to play out the 6 tackles, Steve.
You have to hold possession. You can't turn the ball over easy to them. You have to make them defend, make them tire them out by making them tackle.
Richard Russell taking advantage there of slow marking at the play the ball. Crooks again. He's got Smith with him. Loses the ball.
They had that worked out well there, Wigan, because Smith's always following the big men, and they tackled him well.
Tuigamala, this powerful giant ex-All Black, really proved sensational this season in the game. And his wing partner, Jason Robinson. Yes, plays the ball himself again, slack marking by Castleford. Still Wigan, piling on the pressure in these early stages. Franobotica looking to switch inside. Aitchison. Well, not the best of kicks from Paul, but he was certainly well harassed by Tawera Nikau.
Wigan at the moment are testing the Castleford defence, and if Cass can just hang out for 10 to 15 minutes or so, the crowd could well put some expectation on the Wigan side, and you know, that could start bringing a few errors into their play.
And Castleford using these two props, Crooks and Sampson, as they did against Leeds, to slow the things down, set their game in motion. Simon Middleton. Russell. Andy Hay, another Castleford youngster making his way in the First Division. Kemp. Ian Morrison. Oh, forward pass. Castleford making a few mistakes, Steve.
They are. There's the forward pass. They try to run on the last tackle, and the ball was forward. Just you're seeing the replay here. A long pass. Well, it's a line ball, and with the momentum of you running forward, that maybe wasn't a forward pass because the ball travels forward with you if you're running. I think one thing there, Ray, is that.
Oh, Henry Paul breaking through. He's got Jason Robinson. Just young Flowers to beat. It's Robinson going for that line. Oh, a try. Superb efforts from the youngsters. Jason Robinson pinned his head back. Castleford fullback Jason Flowers simply didn't have any chance there. But it was that break from Henry Paul that set the try in motion.
This guy was Henry Paul. He set that up with a super step off his right leg, and he's got excellent balance, drew the fullback in, and here comes Robinson, just rounding Flowers, and despite a valiant attempt from Russell, he just kicked away. A great try that. It's been coming for 5 minutes.
You see Henry Paul off his right foot. He's a classy player, Henry Paul. He can beat players with ease. A great ball inside there to Jason Robinson, and Jason off his left foot steps around Flowers, and it's just shut the gate there. He's just too fast, too strong, Jason Robinson.
Delight from Jason Robinson. And a further opportunity for Frano Botica. Not really much pressure on Botica for a kick like this. 2 points.
I was going to say before that break there, all the action happened there, was that John Joyner is showing a lot of respect to Twiggamala. Richie Blackmore usually plays on the right-hand side, and now he's got him on the left to mark him up.
Small point here was that Jason Robinson, he had the ball in the wrong hand, and what I mean there is he could have handed off the fullback there, but he had the pace and power anyway. Great try, Robinson.
It's certainly the opening 20 minutes here at Central Park, which proved quite awesome for any team. I think this is the crucial area, isn't it, of any game against Wigan?
It is. You can't let Wigan get on a roll. You can't let them get early points against you because they just keep motoring away.
And here they are motoring away. And it's a very big motor indeed. Terry O'Connor, former Widnes Tigers and Salford player. And certainly Wigan making plenty of ground around the ruck areas there. Here at acting half-back and first receiver, Neil Cowie. I mean, just look at that, Steve. There's 10 metres gained there.
There is. It's just standing there. They've got to move forward to Wigan. There's a mistake by Neil Cowie there. He's lost the ball in the tackle.
Neil Cowie, one of the complete front row for Wigan. Neil Cowie, here he is, driving in. And loses the ball. And Martin Hall and the suspended Kelvin Skerritt, who I think we could very soon see in the red Welsh jersey. Castleford desperate to get back into this game, trailing by 8 points to 0. Nice switch inside there to Nikau, but well read by Paul Aitchison. Sampson back to Russell. Russell really probing here in midfield, moving well. A former half-back, now revelling in the hooking role. Kemp to Crooks. Tony Kemp will be looking to that corner. Jason Robinson quite content to let it roll into touch.
So Tony Kemp, he's a mastery with these short kicks over the top, but Robinson marshalling that ball out to touchline there.
We'll just see how they go from this scrum, Wigan. What they've been doing is they've been wrapping around to get to their left side and then having Andy Farrell run at Simon Middleton. And it's been having a bit of success lately. Straight away, they're spreading it out towards Middleton's side there.
Here's one man that no one likes him running at them. Suingamala. Andy Farrell there again, as Steve was saying, down that side.
At that time there, Richie Blackmore stayed there for one tackle. He never got straight over to the left side there, and Blackmore made the tackle on Farrell, but Farrell has been running at Middleton.
This is bound to be a blood bin for Andy Hay. Referee Stuart Cummins picking that up very, very quickly. So Hay going off for attention. No doubt a few stitches or some tape put around the top of that eye.
Yeah, innocent challenge here. Must have been a clash, a bang down there. Hay tackling around near the knees. There you see, just grasping his eye.
It may even have been Tony Kemp's foot as he was coming over from the tackle, Terry.
Quite possibly, Ray.
And Castleford's number 14, Martin Ketteridge, coming off the bench. Oh, Botica did well there to sidestep those two and still get his kick in, and a kick like that. Superb rugby there from Frano Botica. He beat the two men who wanted to put him down and still put that 45-yard kick in.
It was a great work by Frano Botica there. In general, Castleford's been having problem with the Wigan steppers. Dennis Betts, his stepper, Henry Paul, Botica, all them men have been beating them with their sidestep.
Again, interference at the play of the ball, pushing. As soon as the player is down, the tacklers must move away immediately. Ketteridge. Kemp. Nickow. Castleford at last moving it to action, well picked up there. And a knock on.
Yeah, they were a bit lucky there, Wigan. The fact that he should have fell on the ball and let's play on. Twigamala kicks the ball, now he kicks it here. Now that should be play on again. They've had their chance. Castleford should have got the ball back, but they knocked on from that play.
Botica to Henry Paul in the scrum cap, playing at stand-off and making a very, very good job to Robinson. Good set move there. Notice how the right wing there, Robinson came right across to take that ball off the stand-off. Martin on fire, looking for a gap. That's all he needs. Switching it to Dennis Betts.
Latest on Sean Edwards, who's sitting on the bench, is that his right leg is completely stiffened up now, and that at half-time he'll probably have to be carried off or chairlifted off. Crutches won't work on this rather muddy surface in front of the bench.
Botica. Andy Farrell getting tied up, but he manages to get his pass out, and an attempted drop. Not one of the best by Martin Hall, but well worth the attempt. But still, that score remains 8 points to 0 for Wigan. 24 minutes gone.
Yeah, a bit scrappy here from Wigan, but Martin Hall, who is a very capable hooker and has dropped goals in the past, just took his chance and regrettably didn't execute it well.
But Terry, what about the amount of time he had to go for the drop goal? No Castleford player attacked him or put any pressure on him.
That's right, they're looking rather lethargic on both attack and defence, Steve, and I think they need an injection of confidence, a couple of points perhaps, just to bring them back into the game.
Well, Andy Hay had the treatment, ready to come back on. Nickau. Oh, good run there by the man from Huntly in New Zealand, Tawera Nickau. New Zealand test loose forward. And Kemp. Again, still playing down to this corner here. Robinson. Very confidently racing across the face of the post. Connolly. And Martin O'Fire helping out his forwards. Wanted to get away, but gets a beautiful pass there to Twingamala. Oh, and Twingamala just throws the ball behind him. I think he thought he was still in rugby union then. He really should have held on to that ball unless someone called Terry.
Yes, he was setting his stall out for an accelerator on the touchline, but the cast cover was super. You see here, he hits the accelerator, but Blackmore was strong. He threw the ball indiscriminately inside, and that was a mistake. Could let Castleford in this.
Even if someone did call, you should never pass the ball without having a look to make sure that there's someone there to give it to.
But professional players, Steve, are not averse to calling, are they?
No, that's true.
Nevertheless, it's given Castleford a chance. Oh, Tony Smith's going through. He's just inches short. Twingamala just holding him back. Tremendous effort. Castleford now. On song, driving for the Wigan line. This is the spur that the Yorkshireman needed. But the Wigan crowd roaring behind Wigan, urging them on to defend. Castleford moving it out wide. Tony Kemp kicks himself, and he's given a try. Well, I think there'll be some controversy there, but Tony Kemp played the ball himself very, very quickly, tapped it forward, and seemingly just touched it down on the line. One or two of the Wigan players were up in arms about it. But referee Mr. Cummins was right on the spot. He had no hesitation in awarding that try. Let's just have a look.
Desperate attack here from Castleford, and Kemp got up very quickly and played it to himself, and his momentum took him over. That's a try in my book as well.
Have a look from a different angle. This is front on, because I'm not so sure that he was facing square on when he did play the ball. You can play the ball in any direction, but there, yeah, I suppose he did. And Stuart Cummings was right on the spot, so there's no doubt about where he was standing.
Yeah, right on the spot, right on the line. And Castleford now really in this game. Lee Crooks with the conversion. And getting that conversion. So Castleford now having weathered the storm in that opening 20 minutes from the men here at Central Park. Edging back, 2 points the difference. And here we see it, Tony Kemp driving in. He takes two to put him down, and very quick thinking. Yes, he plays that ball, and he got it on that line. He got it on the line. And Stuart Cummins having a word with Henry Paul. He's telling him there's only one referee. I don't want any complaints. Really letting him know how firm he is. And Sampson now moving up a notch or two. Middleton. Graham West was telling me he's done a lot of work around the ruck area in recent weeks, but there's another gap. Tawera Nickau coming through now. And suddenly it's the Wigan defence is being tested. Sampson shrugs off one tackler, but Phil Clark, Wigan, number 13, has him. To Crooks, back inside to Tony Smith. Tony Smith hanging around there off Crooks and Nickau, looking for the short pass. And Tony Kemp keeps plugging those balls away at the corners. Paul Aitchison. Kemp causing problems with these kicks to the corners, Steve.
He is. He's a very good tactical kicker. You'll see that Nick Howe's been running Wigan's right-hand side. It wasn't Boddicker that missed him then, but he has run at Boddicker a lot of times. I think maybe John Joyner feels that Freno Boddicker may be a weak link in the defensive line of Wigan.
Andy Farrell trying to get himself away. Not quite. Well tracked by Lee Crooks, but Wigan increasing the pace here around the rucks. Dennis Betts. Back to Boddicker. Hoping to pin Castleford back to this line. Picked up by John Ray. And he loses the ball. Oh, picked up by Dennis Betts. The chance here again for Wigan. Terrible mistake by Castleford. And Wigan lose the ball. Tony Smith grabs it back, and chaos there on the Castleford line. Oh, the youngster Flowers bringing it away. Now Middleton. Castleford will just hold this ball, settle themselves down. So much at stake here in this Regal Trophy semi-final. Half an hour gone. Wigan 8, Castleford 6.
Stroke of luck for Castleford there, eh? And, you know, are those omens that, despite the initial thrust from Wigan, that it could be Cass's day.
Paul Aitchison, built more like a second row, but can run like a fullback. And Tom Connor, well, just look how he's built. So big, so strong, still only 22 years of age. Tuingamala. Oh, they can't put him down. He's so powerful. Those legs driving like pistons. Blackmore finally gets him down, but that's got the Wigan fans roaring. Phil Clark driving for the line, just had his ankles tapped. Desperate defence here by Castleford. Wigan powering away. Hall, the short pass to Betts, just held up on the fifth tackle. Frantic scrambling defence and a knock-on. Not a good pass for the youngster Henry Paul to take. And interference at the play of the ball, but you can do that. You can kick out at the play of the ball, but Mr. Cummins has decided that the kick was made before the ball hit the ground. The intervention of the touch judge there, much to the relief of Tuera Nickau, and Simon Middleton really having a word with his teammates there, telling them to sort the matter out.
You see, well, it doesn't actually show you there, but the play of the ball's got scrappy. I think Stuart Cummins and the touch judges, it's getting away from them to play the balls. It's that quick, and they're not handling very well, because there's been a couple of incidents where from the play of the balls that the mark has been getting round too quick and they haven't done anything about it.
Sampson driving in, passions rising here. This is a rough, tough, hard game. Andy Hay. Richard Russell to Middleton. Oh, Middleton almost through, but good tackle again by Connolly. Still Castleford ploughing down that right-hand side. And Tuera Nickau really coming into this game, as is this man Kemp. Aitchison did well there. Oh, he did even better. But he's lost it. Went behind him, no knock on.
Must be getting slippery, that ball, because there's been a lot of changeover of possession in the last 10 minutes.
The pitch actually, Steve, is very heavy. Plenty of rain still lodged in there. Mick Cassidy, the substitute, number 15, moving in, and an injury there for Paul Aitchison. Back to Phil Clark. Just no stoppage in this match at all. Powering into each other, moving at great pace, both sides.
Terry O'Connor resting from the Wigan pack. Terry, this is a hot one now, isn't it?
Very hot. The pace of the game's tremendous. And as you can see by the score, both sides are playing 100%.
Wigan are making terrific ground when they've got the ball now.
We're making good ground, but at the end we're doing silly mistakes. We're forcing the pass and trying to score every time we get down in their own half. We should just try and keep hold of it and stick to the game plan.
Thanks, Terry.
Well, I think Mr. Cummins been very, very harsh here. He penalised well, he didn't penalise at all originally. He said that the ball was knocked back. Richard Russell claimed it, and then a quick shout that Castleford were not playing the ball. Very, very harsh.
What he's done, he said that he called a play and Russell's played on. But I think, as I said, the ball's getting that quick. I think it's a little bit too quick for the referee at this stage.
Whatever, it's Wigan now, driving in, looking to add to those points. 8 points to 6. Farrell going for the line. Excellent tackling here from Castleford, and they need it. Hall to Cassidy. A frantic 40 minutes we're having. Still Hall coming out this side to Clark. Back to Hall again. O'Fire. He loses it, but it hits Tony Kemp's arm. Connolly. And he loses it. Knock on.
The pace of the game, Ray, is really taking its toll in this last 10 minutes of the half. Both sides are making fundamental errors, and it is getting scrappy, but very exciting.
You'll see here, Gary Connolly gets up and loses the ball in the tackle there. They seem to have lost their way a little bit when they get inside Castleford's 22, Wigan. Martin Hall, there's a lot of calls there that he seems to be wrong calls, because the players don't know who's getting the ball.
I think that could be, Steve, with the lack of Edwards dominating the scene around the acting halfback first man area.
It is. I think that was probably the reason why they risked playing with injury, for that leadership.
I think the tackling, though, Steve, is so furious, and the two sides are moving in so quickly from that 10-metre line. It really is disconcerting when you receive that ball, isn't it?
Oh, it is. There's certainly 26 super fit athletes out there.
Here's one. Sampson. Crooks coming in on the angle. That was very well done there by the prop forward. Coming in on the angle. Beating Wigan. Kemp looking for Nickow. Finding Nickow. And Nickow striding imperiously through the gap there. But good defence by Bottica. Castleford pressing for the initiative. Back to Morrison. It's Morrison going for the line. He's just held up by Clark. Castleford, and Clark's interfering there, surely. But no, Castleford playing on. Tony Kemp, Richie Blackmore, a crunching tackle by Bottica. But the ball is lost, picked up by Kemp. It's all action here at Central Park. Blackmore pushes it out wide. Crooks, the high kick. Picked up by Flowers, that was good. Nickow, they've got an overlap here. Hey, cuts inside, he's going for the line. He gets it to Nickow. Oh, it's a forward pass. Would you believe it? I almost thought Andy Hay could have scored himself. A forward pass to Nickow. And that's sensible play of O'Fire.
What a piece of play from Castleford here. And Hay could have scored himself with a twist and a turn. Cummins was right on the ball there. Great play from Castleford, great defence from Wigan.
Well, no doubt to Nickow. He called for the ball, and Wigan will want to hang on in here to that clock reads 40 minutes. 8 points to 6 for Wigan. Both sides have had narrow squeaks. To Wingamala. Oh, just pounds one out. What's two out of his way? So Wingamala going down this right wing. 3 men, 4 men, 5 men. Oh, would you believe it? It's like a Sherman tank going down the right-hand side here. As Wigan launched now from Betts to Clark. He's got Paul Aitchison going for the line. And the handover. The sixth tackle. There are some very tired lads out there. And Simon Middleton doing the right thing. Just taking it away from the acting half-back position. Allowing his players to settle.
They should have scored then, Wigan. Paul Aitchison, he had men outside him and he caught the ball, tucked it straight under his arm and just run. He should have just offloaded straight away.
That was the Castleford spirit that I was speaking about, Ray. They covered like Trojans then and kept Wigan at bay.
Both of these sides sure will be waiting for the 10 minutes at half-time, a hot cup of tea and a breather. Richie Blackmore. Just Castleford content to hold on to that ball. Both teams missing tries at either end. Kev. Oh, well taken by Robinson. Very well held. And a good run from the youngster.
I don't think John Joyner will be too disappointed with the scoreline, because this breeze is starting to pick up, and he's going to have Castleford will have a good wind at their back.
Henry Paul launching Martin a fire. The fire's got some space. He's turning himself through. Going around to that corner. Oh, well held by Chris Smith. Desperate defence there against the Wigan flyer. Gary Connolly racing for the corner, but again desperate defence to Nicow. He's looking for help. A fire. No, is he over? Yes, he is! Martin a fire! Well, we've seen him score some from 100 yards, 80 yards and 90 yards, spectaculars, but probably he'll not score many more important than this one from a foot out. He spotted the gap, the chink of light was there, and Martin of Fire dived through for the 28.
Martin of Fire started this movement with a super break up the middle, but he was determined. He had his eye in the focus on that line. You see him there glaring, and he drives with those legs and puts it through and just on the line.
Yeah, we have three front on here. Martin of Fire gets yeah, I think it got on the line, then rolled the ball back. But it doesn't matter. He scores some great tries, Martin of Fire, and there's probably going to be none more important than that from a yard out.
Well,
there's another angle.
The ruling is it is a try if it's on the whitewash. Just marginal, just on it. But the referee is there, he's in charge, and it's the 4 points to Wigan. But what a game, what an effort from both these two sides. And Botica at his best on the touchlines. I don't think I've ever seen a better goal kicker from the touchlines. Just a slight breeze behind him. Slides it. Oh, it's there. Wonderful kick from Frano Botica. Wigan fans roaring their support. And Wigan, a vital try and a goal on that half-time. Smack on the half-time whistle there. Martin of Fire's dash and dive. Henry Paul's initial break. Phil Clark, a lot of hard work there. And both these sides will need plenty of rest. And I'm sure those fans have enjoyed the first 40 minutes, but I think we're even more for the next 40.
Well,
Thank you, Sue. Certainly enough incident in this first half to last us a week, but I'm sure the next 40 minutes will produce even more. And a lot of controversy, I think, Terry.
Yes, this Martin of Fire try has prompted loads of discussion. Loads of discussion on this try, Ray. Just going down on the line, but I must go with the referee Cummins, who was spot on there in the right-hand side of the picture. He was spot on, was Cummins, and I must go with him on that one.
If the ball actually touches the whitewash, Steve, then that is a try, isn't it? Even if it's pulled back, as it seemed to do there.
It is. It's only got to go on the line, and as you said, if it's pulled back, it is a try. I think what you said, Terry, is a good call, that the referee, even on this try and on the Kemp try, the referee is right on the spot, and that's where a referee should be. He hasn't got the advantage of slow motion replay and all that, you know. It's very hard. I think maybe it was on the line once again there. It's close, but the referee's there. He's on the spot. He's got to make the decision.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Steve. On Fire, though, he just came into the game like a rocket, and that created those points at the back end of the first half. And
I'm sure these players will have wanted that 10-minute rest, because an interesting statistic, Steve. I mean, you're a coach. You sort of live or die by statistics. The ball was actually in play in that first half for 31 minutes. I can't remember a game like that before.
You know, for the top two clubs in the Premiership at this stage, probably, for 31 minutes of play at a lightning pace. It's just unbelievable, and they have done very well.
Very few of these spectators will want to leave early, and I'm sure Lee Crooks is determined to make sure that they don't. And he'll want to stop this man, Martin Offiah. How many times have we seen him here at Central Park with one sudden dramatic intervention change the course of a game? He's not bothered about 31 minutes action as long as he's got his bottle. So Mr. Cummins gets us underway for this final 40, with the game, I think, still delicately balanced, but of course that try on the stroke of half-time, Terry, given Wigan that distinct advantage.
Yeah, in any sport it's a significant time to score, and it will just have lifted their hearts because Castleford fought their way back into the game. And to be honest, I think this second half will be all about the mistakes. The team which makes the least could well come away with the spoils.
Steve, what have Castleford got to do?
They have to score next is what they've got to do, because they can't allow Wigan to get any more points on the board.
So I would expect to see Castleford opening the ball up, and no doubt those are the instructions that John Joyner has sent down there to the bench. Tony Kemp miscuing the kick and gratefully received by Offiah and Botica. But a good chase from Sampson and Hay. And one of the advantages, Terry, having such a big full-back, he can do the job of a forward.
Yes, he's a very powerful player, and he's come on and added value to this side. You know, since Edwards went off, they lost some organisation, but they benefited from the likes of Paul being more involved, and his stepping ability, and the power of Aitchison coming through, as you say.
The Wigan and our commentary colleague, Joe Lydon, in deep discussion. Graham West at his side, the Kiwi coach.
I think you'll find that the kicking's been that good. It's the first time that a kick's gone dead in goal.
And Kelvin Skerritt suspended for 3 matches, an interested spectator there, and I'm sure he'll want to get into this action and get his pets. He's in the action, a slip. Castleford letting that ball go.
Bad play from Richard Russell, he wasn't watching then.
Mistakes like that can result in tries. Mick Cassidy now looking for the line. The substitute was a substitute for Great Britain this season. Back to Botica, looking for the switch with Henry Paul. Paul cutting back inside. Oh, he gets that to Hall. Castleford will definitely not want to concede a try here. Botica finds Connolly. He's got Aitchison outside him. Aitchison trying to force his way over, but good defence there. Farrell taking the matters into his own hands, charging in. Good close defence from Castleford there, but still Wigan now opening it wide. Botica, he's got 1 or 2 options. He puts the long pass in. The kick from Neil Cowie. Well, it was all that Neil Cowie could do. The ball dropping at his boot. Quick thinking from the prop forward.
Yeah, good pressure from Wigan here, but a sloppy last pass, and Cowie trying with his initiative, but come to nothing.
So Castleford getting away with that mistake. As we said earlier, Castleford, the holders of this trophy, gave a magnificent display last year at Headingley, cruising to 33 points, but this year the defence of Wigan much more sound, much more sure. A lot of homework, I think, have been done on this Yorkshire side.
I think Wigan have handled Tony Smith and Dean Sampson very well. They've been the 4 players for Castleford, and today Wigan have contained them.
Yes, I think all credit to Wigan boss Graham West. He certainly worked out a plan for handling that man, number 10, Dean Sampson. Very much the in-form prop this season. Wigan just ahead in the scrums and further ahead now. This pitch is very heavy too. It certainly will sap the energy. Henry Paul going through. Oh, he's got to Ingamala. He's steaming down. He's got his head back. good pass. Oh, Fire screaming at Inga there. But I think Twigamala's not paying much heed to him.
Yeah, the runaway train burst through the Cast defence, but he'd be disappointed with that with Viega because it was poor execution at the last minute there.
I'm not sure about the crowd's yelling there because they give Castleford the feed, and maybe it should have been Wigan's feed. He's saying that Twigamala passed the ball forward.
I think I'll go with the ref there. The ball from Twigamala did go forward in my opinion though, Steve.
Blackmore shrugging off a couple of tacklers and being held down there surely, but escapes the attention of Mr. Cummins.
Well, it should have been a penalty to Wigan there because Blackmore's trying to get up. He's put the ball on the ground before he regained his feet.
So many technicalities at this play of the ball. It looks a very simple process, but it isn't. Richard Russell with Kemp. He's got Nick Howe with him. Oh, he gets that ball away well. Andy Hay, this is good play from Castleford. Jason Flowers, the pass inside. Just couldn't be taken. Well, that was a nasty knock for Paul Aitchison, but Tony Smith was going for the ball. Aitchison back in the action. The Fire. Martin the Fire coming in a lot today in the middle.
I think the Fire has gained his confidence in the last few weeks, Ray. The Test series was an indifferent bit of form for him, but he's got his confidence back and he's taking people on and gritting his teeth.
Oh.
The problem with Vainga Twigamala is that he's not been able to do very much training because of a knee ligament injury. He's not been able to do physical training, just hydrotherapy, and that's why his stamina is not that good. His knee's very sound, but stamina is lacking.
There is the big man. Jason Flowers really running into those two there, Betts and Cowie. Andy Hay. Wigan defence around the hooks, a little bit too strong there for the youngster. Russell, nice switch. Kemp. Cass moving out wide now. Blackmore having a battle there with Twigamala, but Twigamala puts him down. Just manages to keep in from touch. John Ray trying to slice his way through. Likes to come off his right foot. On the fifth tackle now. Kemp forcing Wigan back, keeping that Castleford momentum moving.
I think, Ray, both sides are looking a little bit, you know, getting the breath back from that hectic first half. And, you know, Kemp is putting the ball out here. They're trying to play a game of, you know, sort of strategic movement. And, Steve, what do you think on that one?
Well, I do. I mean, it was a real hard first half. They've come out, it's not so hectic, but I still think there's plenty of rugby league left in this game where it's going to open up again.
Well, I think it will open up because I think this heavy pitch will take its toll on the legs of these players. Robinson gets a nice pass away there to Henry Paul. Oh, what a lovely mover is this Kiwi. And back to Martin of Fire. It's a Fire in full flow down the side. He kicks that ball. Oh, he's in there. Martin of Fire. I thought he'd misjudged it when he kicked. I thought he had the outside and that yard of pace, but he knew better than us. And he takes the score to 18 points to 6. The Wigan wing flyer, the leading try scorer this season with 29, went round his men and the kick was inch perfect.
Yeah, the combination of razor-sharp Robinson and prolific Paul here, his steps were superb and he came across looking for a fire, zoned across and found him with a super pass. We said his confidence was back, and just look at this. He's teasing the Cast defence and he just gathers to score. That's a piece of magic from Martin of Fire.
You watch Henry Paul, our classic, the ball in two hands. You should always carry the ball in two hands when you're running. Easy to offload, a great pass to Martin of Fire, and look at this kick. Eyes never off the ball. Another little kick again, pops up for him nicely. That's a great try there. Not too many players could do that.
And a wave to us from Martin of Fire. Yes, certainly, I think, Steve, to handle that kick at the end, as you say, his eyes never veered from the ball. It took great concentration, did it? And that's not just speed, but that is skill.
It is skill. And as we were talking about before with tucking the ball under your arm, you got the defence knows you're just going to run with it. But when you carry the ball in two hands, you can pass left to right, plus the defence don't know whether you're going to pass, whether you're going to kick or whatever. You know, you're putting a doubt in their mind.
And Botica with another kick, his second from way out on the touchline. But we see this man kick these with such regularity that we become accustomed to them. Oh, and it just hits the upright, bounces inside. The accuracy and the look going with Frano Botica, and I'm sure that those Wigan fans now ecstatic with that score. Wigan 20, Castleford 6. And here is the kick, just hitting the upright and bouncing the right way for Wigan.
Marvellous try from Wigan. The combination of the three players in question, and Paul, he just made the incisive decision there, went across looking for a fire, and he just put the pace on down the outside, and his but two tries either side of half-time are having a significant bearing on this game.
Certainly no doubts over that particular try, well over the whitewash. Phil Clark and Martin Offiah about to jet down under for the World Sevens in Sydney. I'm sure there'll be a few more tries from him. Holding again at the play of the ball.
You'll see here that there's a foul in the play of the ball area here. He's Nick out. Yeah, he's holding him. He's got his hands on him in the play of the ball. You've got to get away from them.
Oh, and Jason Robinson steals a march on the far side, but good tackle by John Ray. Wigan now powering in. Mick Cassidy looking for the kill from Wigan. Vital stage for Castleford. Dennis Betts inching nearer to that line. Hall back to Botica. Switch dummy. Back inside to Paul. This Kiwi's a real danger. No wonder Wigan poached him from the Auckland Warriors. Paul Aitchison looking to put the grubber kick through. But well picked up by Richard Russell.
They just seem to have lost their direction without Edwards in the opposition's 22, Wigan. You can see that their outside backs aren't seeing the ball.
Simon Middleton looking to inject a little pace in defence.
Yeah, just feeding off that, Steve. With the ball not going out wide, we're finding the likes of Robinson and Paul and Offiah coming hunting, and that's causing disarray in the Cas defence.
Wigan defence equal to the task to kick. Botica. And Botica again, launching the forwards, doing the job that Sean Edwards normally does. It's Castleford ball. Mistake by Gary Connolly. Andy Hay. Castleford have really got to get a try and a goal very, very quickly. They've got to haul themselves back into this game. Dean Sampson. Quite a few handling errors in this match, but I think that's because of the movement about the feel of the ball and the ferocity of the tackling. Hasn't detracted from the game. Sampson! Oh! And the interception by Turingamano. He's got 50 metres to go. Kemp! Good tackle. Excellent tackle by Tony Kemp, but I think that there's going to be a sin bin.
Flowers.
And it looks...
It's Flowers. He's getting sin bin. Jason Flowers was a late tackle there. He's come in late. You see Dean Sampson, as we were talking about before, he's had a quiet game, Dean Sampson. He's offload, trying to offload. A great look at the look on his face and the power in his legs. Now you'll see now coming over the top here, Jason Flowers. See, he was tackled. There was no need to come in there. Sin bin.
Superb execution here from Tony Kemp on defence. I will give this guy some credit for this tackle round the legs, and away does Twigamala.
Wigan pressing again then, thanks to that Twigamala run. And here's Andy Farrell on the run. It's Wigan really showing now why they are the league champions. And Young Flowers regretting the second tackle. Dennis Betts finds Botica, finds Neil Cowie. And Cowie forcing his way over. Not quite, just pushed back there. Well done by John Ray. Hall going for the line. And Hall gets it. The sheer pressure on that Castleford line. The Castleford players not having time to regroup. And the speed of the Wigan forwards. Hall, again, spotting the gap and crashing in. Former Rochdale Hornets hooker.
You see Cowie, plenty of power here. He gets in a lot of players. There's 3 hanging off him. Another one will come in there, that's 4. A quick play of the ball and Hall straight over. It all come from before, with Dennis Betts taking the Edwards role, running across field, getting the ball out wide, and then they've got the defence in there, and Hall's just gone over for the try. It's the first time that Wigan inside Cass's 22 have got the ball out to the flanks.
And again for that try by Hall, good positioning by referee Cummings, with Botica given another chance.
It was a little bit inevitable, Ray, with the extra man, Flowers in the sin bin, the Wigan bandwagon pressing hard, and to be honest, we just felt that a score was about to arrive. And Hall, who's quite impressive, he's had a good solid game as Martin Hall, just did the necessary.
This man Botica has about 30 or 40 shots at goal every training session, and those Castleford lads getting a real talking to by Lee Crooks, the old campaigner, trying to encourage them. But here's Botica again. No wonder, as I said, he takes 30 or 40 shots every training session. 100% accuracy. 26 points to 6. And Wigan moving well away now from the Yorkshireman.
You see here, it's a great, powerful run from Cowie. Just keeps going, the legs are pumping. You know, as we said before, 4 defenders are all over the place there, Cass. They're all over. Now, Martin Hall just gets the ball, and it's over the line. It's a good try.
Many of these forwards, Steve, used to running with these power sledges on their backs, pulling them. That was an example from Cowie, wasn't it? That sort of power training.
All the power in the legs there.
Just over 20 minutes remaining then in this second semi-final tie to see who will play Wigan at the new McAlpine Stadium there in Huddersfield.
If it stays this way, Ray, the game at Warrington against Wigan will be an intriguing clash over there in Yorkshire in a couple of weeks' time.
Botica opening out play. Aitchison. Twigamala setting up these personal battles again. He gets the ball away. Dennis Betts realises it is the 5th tackle. Not much else he can do.
Well, he's done extra well there because he's going to get the feed. In the panic situation, Wigan have come out on top because it's come off a Cass player, gone into touch, so it's a Wigan feed.
And substitution, Martin Ketteridge about to come on, and Tony Morrison about to come off. I think it's so necessary for a coach these days to really make it a 15-man game, Terry.
Yes, especially at this stage of the game for Cass. Their back's against the wall, they're in desperation stakes, and they need some fresh legs, and Ketteridge, they feel is the man to do that.
Jason Robinson powering through the gap, going for that line, but again good cover from Castleford. Again, it's desperate defence now from Cass as Wigan move this ball. Clark to Botica. He's got Connolly outside him. They're queuing up on the right wing here. Cassidy electing to go himself. Mick Cassidy there crowding out the Wigan three-quarters. Andy Farrell, everyone wanting to score now. Superb performance from the league leaders. Botica switching again, but Betts not able to handle it. Nickau and Castleford trying to move this ball now from their own line. They know they've got to score and score quickly. Sampson. And that just shows Wigan's domination, doesn't it, this half?
Yes, the marginally more possession, but look at the territorial advantage. Some three quarters of the game have been in the Castleford half, and that's resulted in the tries.
Lee Crooks looking to execute the dummy, but doesn't fool Mick Cassidy and Neil Cowie. Tony Kemp trying to launch Nickau. Picked up by Martin O'Fire. In superb form this afternoon, O'Fire, but a good tackle. Excellent tackle by John Ray. And Twigamala blasting down that right-hand side. Just over 12 months in the game of rugby league, the ex-All Black. Robinson, such power running in these Wigan backs. Farrell.
Yeah, he lost the ball in the tackle. It was a good call from the touch judge there. Stuart Cummings never seen it. The touch judge did. You'll see that Jason Robinson did lose the ball in the tackle.
Good call from the touch judge, Mr. Tony Brown.
You'll see here, Jason, as he's getting up, just fumbles the ball there.
The rain at last beginning to come down here at Central Park, just in the faces of the Wigan players, but at 26 points to 6 in the lead, I don't think they'll be too bothered with a few drops of rain. Lee Crooks, Castleford captain, trying to keep his men going. Kemp to Tony Morrison. Well, that was well read. That was the sort of try we saw that scored against Leeds. A set move between the forwards and Smith coming off it. Tony Kemp, a little grubber kick. No try.
It's the first time they've put that move on, and it's one of their old moves, Cass. They have a lot of success off that play.
Yeah, it's the double switch. Russell across to Kemp, and then he just tries the little grubber kick, and it's unfortunate here, Tony Kemp, but great play from Aitchison.
Just a few inches too far.
Yes, another one of Tony Kemp's repertoire, but the ever-alert Aitchison just scooping it away at the back.
If they had scored 6 points there, got 6 points, scored the try, kicked the goal, there's still 18 odd minutes to go here, to put them back in the game.
Yeah, it's significant if that would have, as you say, Steve, resulted in a few points.
I think this is the strength and the spirit in this Castleford side. They've certainly not given in. Many a side would have collapsed by now, but Castleford right in this game, and as Steve says, 18 minutes remaining, and Castleford powering to the line, having their best spell in the second half. And don't forget, they've only got 12 men. Flowers in that sin bin. Nickau. All credit to these Yorkshiremen. Russell. To Crooks. Looking for the gap, looking to put the pass around the man. Richard Russell. Just held up by Cowie and Aitchison. Aitchison doing good work in defence. Lee Crooks trying to get that ball down. Everyone looking for that white line. But sadly for Cass, not finding it. And Andy Farrell, second row, coming away with a beautiful sidestep on his own line. And Henry Paul now, spotting a gap with another sidestep. It's Paul with some... Oh, tremendous sidestepping run. Just put to the ground by Middleton. Middleton in the full-back row, but it's Wigan coming on now to Connolly. Connolly, again, Connolly finds a gap. One or two tired legs here. The ball just missing. A fire, and Simon Middleton's got a chance down this right-hand side now. What a glorious tackle by Paul Aitchison. These two sides playing tremendous rugby. And a little altercation there between Chris Smith here, number 2, and Neil Cowie, and that looked a high tackle to me. Surely Neil Cowie will need a little talking to.
The incident was to play the ball, he knocked on. He knocked the ball on before that, and they're going back.
Yeah, the referee are blown for that. And to be honest, he's given his first decision.
But even a first decision, that doesn't stop you being penalised for a high tackle.
Definitely, Ray. He could have, should have, and really could have, should have given a penalty there.
Martin O'Fire breaking loose again and showing that tremendous burst of speed. Castleford just managing to contain this Wigan side.
Jason Robertson just over the other side there telling Wigan to settle it down. They don't have to push things. They're a long way in front. But it's not surprising there's these errors. The pace is that frantic. It's going from one end of the field to the other.
And just a stoppage in play as Tuigamala is coming off. What a great game he's had. It's his first game back since he was stretchered off with that knee injury on Boxing Day against St Helens. But as powerful as ever, no doubt. Lacking full fitness as well. So O'Connor, the prop, coming back on. And Nathan Sykes, substitute for Castleford, has slipped on for Cass skipper Lee Crooks.
I think, Ray, that Wigan will readjust with Phil Clark going to stand-off half, Henry Paul out in the centre.
And there are the ice packs on Tuigamala's knee. Penalty, offside, and Nathan Sykes. Certainly a fresh man at this stage would help Castleford, but of course a schemer like Lee Crooks will be very, very much missed.
I always spoke at the beginning that Crooks and Sampson were the form front rows in the game, but Wigan, to their credit, have kept them pretty quiet.
But it's still Castleford on the attack. Tony Smith ducking, diving, weaving for that try. A yard short to Kemp. Can't get that ball away outside. He gets it inside. Still bobbing about. O'Connor grabs it. We've had quite a few handling mistakes, but really these handling mistakes have been because of the adventure of these players. And there is the ice pack on Tuigamala.
I say, Ray, there was some strain on that bandage around Tuigamala's legs. They've needed a few rolls around that one, I would say.
Many people don't have waists the size of those legs, do they? Wigan surely will want to take a breather. Martin Hall tries for one down that far side. And John Ray just letting it roll into touch. And one of the few occasions when you really can take a breather in this modern rugby league is going to the scrum.
That's right, but the scrum, as we know, is very fast these days, and no sooner have you put your head down that you know, your head's up again and you're chasing the defences. But what a fantastic game we've had, Steve. It's been superb, hasn't it?
It's been great. It's entertaining from one end of the field to the other. Great defence, great attack. They've certainly put themselves on show today and just showed what a good game it can be, rugby league.
And Castleford, well, they might be trailing by 26 points to 6, but still pressuring Wigan, still troubling Wigan, still looking for points to haul themselves back. Sykes being hauled back himself. Tony Kemp launches Ketteridge. Not too far. Hall and Cowie look after him. And Richard Russell goes further this time. But again, good cover by O'Connor. Quite quick, this number 8, this prop. Tony Kemp, no one's picking him up. Oh, I think he thought Richie Blackmore was out wide there.
I think it's Tuigamala. This has turned out very well, hasn't it?
What?
The game.
Oh, okay.
You remember the game you were playing?
Too busy concentrating. No, it's certainly the boys are playing well out there. They're giving it their best, and that's all you could ask for. Certainly a good game.
How's the knee?
Well, you know, these are the things that's part and parcel of the game, and you got to take it on the chin. And as much as you want to be out there, you got to do what's best for you first.
Well played, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Inga was certainly concentrating on the match there.
Talk about being relaxed.
Play on, says Mr. Cummings. Advantage.
I think Mr. Cummings made a mistake there. Flowers definitely knocked the ball forward.
Yes, you can't claim advantage, can you, Steve, when you've been the one to make the original knock-on?
No, Dennis Betts tried to capitalise on the mistake, but in the movement, in the execution, he unfortunately spilled the ball, but I would have liked Mr. Cummins to have given a knock on there.
But I think Mr. Cummins is very keen to keep this ball moving. He's keen to keep this game open. He's certainly helped in this spectacular. To Erdonikau. Good pass to Tony Smith. Smith been following him all afternoon. Back to Chris Smith. Can he get the ball away? He does. To Ketteridge. Martin Ketteridge, he will over a beautiful overhead pass to Sampson. Another one inside to Richard Russell. Russell going for the line. Just held short by the hooker. Both these hooker played as schoolboys together. Richie Blackmore. And the crossing there. The crossing where Castleford were on attack. So it's a penalty to Wigan. But once again, a promising Castleford attack going astray. There we see Sampson driving in and Blackmore coming in from behind him. But again, superb play from Castleford, just falling at the last yard.
They must have done that 4 or 5 times, but a yard short of scoring a try and then come up with nothing.
I do think, Terry, that Castleford probably would have beaten any other side in the game this afternoon.
Yes,
Wigan.
That first half was an absolute fantastic half of rugby. And to be honest, Ray, the best chance came and went either side of half-time.
Oh, combination between the forwards there, the back three, Farrell, Clark and Betts, roaring at pace. Here's Franobotica now. He's got Farrell outside him. But I think they're going to give an offside decision. Castleford desperate to defend. They've got to move up very, very quickly. They know the pace of a Fire and Robinson out wide, and those inside backs and Tuerdenik there. They've got to come up. And I think, Terry, I think Franobotica are going to go for a goal here. I think someone said, look, let's have a rest, Frano.
Yes, he'll go for the 2 points here and, you know, just put another nail in the Castleford coffin. But if we look at the summary of things, as I said, just before half-time, if Castleford could have gone in at 8-6 down, they could have well been in the game. But the try before and the try just after, the magic of a Fire has just, you know, just changed the course of this game.
There was some good refereeing there. They were offside, Castleford, but he let the advantage go. He let Wigan have a shot at scoring a try. When they didn't, he then penalised Castleford.
And Franobotica, probably the calmest and coolest customer in this ground at the moment. Just concentrating on this kick. He'll want to keep that 100% record, and he'll not want the ball to go in off the upright this time. He'll want it to go smack between the middle, as it does. So a further 2 points for Wigan, 28-6 now, and Wigan looking to be in that final.
Yes, it should be a classic encounter. Warrington, who disposed of Widnes yesterday, and this classy Wigan outfit. In fact, both games have been emphatic in the scoreline at the end, and you know, that augurs well for an absolute classic of a final, one we must look forward to.
But a lot of energy used up by that man there, Tuerdenik. All credit to this Castleford side. No one has shirked the issue. Everyone has given of his best. Just on the day, Wigan superior. Seven minutes remaining, and I think more points still to come. A lot of tired players here now will be wanting to seek the refuge of the shower and the bath at the end of the whistle. O'Connor had a little rest halfway through the game, and there is John Joyner and Graham West, the two coaches, both in reflective mood, but both, I think, have done a good job here. And Mr. Cummings giving the penalty. Could have played advantage, but he's giving the penalty for offside. The ball hitting the Wigan player from the kick. The result of this being given a penalty here for the kick, as we see, kicks in front, comes off Connolly. It's fair enough, because it means that Castleford actually can gain more yardage. And they do, right down to 10 metres from the Wigan line. They surely deserve a try, Steve.
Yeah, they've played hard. They've never give up Castleford, and it would be good for them to score.
But Wigan, the supreme professionals, will not want them to score. A nice switch again to Nichow. Nichow and Kemp working those switches well. Picked up by Russell. Gets it away to Jason Flowers. Perhaps one man as much as anybody who deserves a try in that quarter-final, and here this afternoon. Played so well. To Nichow. It's flicked on to Middleton. But again, the Wigan defence holds in this corner. Jerry Connolly holds the ball.
It was significant, Ray. That little incident there with Kemp kicking ahead and one of the Wigan players catching on the full. That happened in the first half, and Robinson, in doing that, was the instigation of the off-fire try.
Martin Offiah taking a knock there, but certainly he's been full of running this afternoon. As Terry said, he looks to have his old confidence back. One player never lacking in confidence, the former Hunslet Parkside youngster, Jason Robinson. O'Connor. Martin Hall, a hooker, revealing kicking skills. He certainly doesn't shirk the physical, does this youngster?
I don't know, running into Cowie and Andy Farrell's not two players you'd want to pick out just to run straight into.
He's only 19, he's got to get to 29, hasn't he?
Yes, I think he may have learned from that, Ray.
Tony Smith, superb handling. Oh, Chris Smith's lost the ball. Another chance of a try goes for Castleford, but that again was crisp handling from Castleford down that left-hand side. The two Smiths especially, Terry.
Yes, Nichow, super ball inside to the poaching Tony Smith, and Chris Smith was just being grabbed by Robinson, and he just knocked the ball there. Unlucky Castleford.
The story of the day for Cass, just always nearly scoring or should have scored, but haven't come up with it.
Frano Botica, such an influential force here at Wigan in recent years. Wigan, I'm sure, content now to just see out these remaining 3 minutes, and there is the man of the match. Henry Paul had a season with the Wakefield Trinity, and then Wigan snapped him up.
If we focus on this man, Henry Paul, he came in more into the game at the result of Edwards going off, and his balance and his stepping has created those openings for the Wigan crucial tries.
And nice to see one player, Steve, I know you're from down under, but nice to see one player coming in this direction from the Auckland Warriors and not going down there.
Yeah, it is, because we've got to be careful these days. The amount of money in the competition's getting so big over there, they're going to try to drain all the good players from here.
Well, certainly a lot of good players on this field. Tony Kemp just losing his grip on the ball. Very tired, these players now, but all credit to Kemp. He's looking for support, you see. He's looking for the pass. Just catches Phil Clark. And that's very, very...
You consider the amount of time the ball has been in play, it may not be so bad, but it's been a great game, Ray.
Oh, and a magnificent break by Connolly. He's got Martin Offiah racing in there. Offiah in for his third try.